Welcome back to Starloop News, where we uncover the biggest behind-the-scenes stories in Hollywood. Today, we're diving into one of the most explosive rivalries in action movie history, Jean-Claude Van Damme versus Steven Seagal. And after decades of silence, Van Damme is finally telling the truth. And it's more shocking than fans ever imagined. Back in the early 90s, if you walked into any video rental store, two names dominated the martial arts section: Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal. Both were titans of the genre, but they couldn't have been more different. Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels, dazzled audiences with his graceful, high-flying kicks and emotional storylines. Films like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and Time Cop turned him into an international icon. Meanwhile, Seagal took a more stoic route, using the smooth, deadly efficiency of Aikido. In films like Above the Law and Under Siege, he was quiet, cold, and brutal. But while fans were busy debating who was better, behind the scenes, a Cold War was brewing. It started with subtle digs. Seagal, never one to mention names, would make jabs in interviews mocking martial artists who trained in ballet, clearly targeting Van Damme, who had openly spoken about using ballet to enhance his balance and flexibility. These weren't throwaway lines. Insiders knew Seagal's barbs were calculated, and even though Van Damme stayed silent publicly, Hollywood knew he heard every word. The tension simmered until one fateful night at a party hosted by none other than Sylvester Stallone. It was supposed to be a peaceful gathering of action legends: Schwarzenegger, Willis, Van Damme, and Seagal. But when Seagal started making those same sly insults again, Van Damme had enough. Right then and there, in front of the biggest names in action cinema, Van Damme stood up and challenged Seagal to step outside and settle things like men. But Seagal, he refused. Not once, but twice that night, first at the mansion, and then again at a nightclub. The word spread like wildfire. Even Stallone would later confirm the story. Van Damme was serious, and Seagal backed down. Then came the offer that could have changed Hollywood history. In the early 2000s, powerhouse producer Peter Guber put $20 million on the table for each of them. A real, sanctioned fight in Las Vegas. No scripts, no stunt doubles, just two martial arts legends going head-to-head. Van Damme said yes immediately, but Seagal, he went silent. No negotiations, no response, nothing. And just like that, the $40 million dream match disappeared into the shadows. Years passed. Then, in 2023, the internet nearly broke. Van Damme posted a photo of him having dinner with Seagal. The caption: "Thank you, Steven, and your family for the fantastic dinner. Big announcement coming soon." Fans were stunned. Was this a truce? A reunion movie? The long-awaited fight? But behind the smiles in that photo, there was no peace. In a quiet interview later that year, Van Damme broke his silence. He said it plainly: he is a fraud. There was no anger, just disappointment. Van Damme revealed the dinner wasn't a reconciliation. It was an observation. He wanted to see if Seagal had changed. But instead, he found the same ego, the same coldness, and the same man who had built a mythos of CIA missions and secret combat, but had never once stepped into a real fighting ring. For Van Damme, it was never about publicity. It was about truth. He had trained, he had fought, he had earned every scar. Seagal, according to Van Damme, he was all talk. The fight never happened. The big announcement never came. But the truth, that finally landed like a knockout punch. The rivalry may never be settled in the ring, but Van Damme's story has now entered the record, loud and clear. If you were hooked by this untold story, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another behind-the-scenes bombshell from Starloop News, where Hollywood secrets never stay hidden for long.